Today on the grid, we are talking about aviation photography. It is one of our favorite topics. We have a special guest here. Brett Schauf is going to be here. Dr. T is here from Platypod. He's got some cool Platypod stuff. We've got all kinds of prizes. We've got news. We've got insane amount of goodies to give away, including something we've never given away before. I predict, now this is just a prediction. I don't know that this is going to happen, but I predict that it will be a fine, fine day on the grid, and it all starts in just 23.2 seconds. Let's go! The grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com. It's Wednesday. It's 1 o'clock-ish. It must be time for the grid. Welcome, everybody. We are live here on the East Coast. Mr. Kuna is here.
Look at that jib work.
Beautiful. You know why? Because that's not Dobson, is it? Yeah, it's nice jib work. Kuna's here.
I like it.
You know Dr. T. So he is here. Larry's here. We got some cool stuff today.
Yeah,
we have some cool stuff. Everybody relax. It's not a Kickstarter. I know that when we have Larry on, people are like, something new's coming.
Oh, something new is coming.
Something new is coming.
Today.
Not today.
Well, something sort of new is coming today.
Yeah, actually, something sort of. I didn't see it till today. You guys are going to see it today, but it's not. It's not a Kickstarter, but that's coming, and it's a good one. Let's see what else is going on. We do have a special guest today. Brett Schauf is going to be here. He's an aviation photographer. I've seen his work. He does air-to-air stuff. It's sick stuff.
Sick stuff that Scott will never do.
I know. I'm trying to get my guts up to do air-to-air. I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's because I just saw Matt Kloskowski this last past week, and we hung out quite a bit in San Francisco with Glenn Dewis.
Yeah.
Glenn was there, and me and Matt, the three of us hung out and had just a wonderful time. But when Matt tells me about shooting air-to-air and tells me his experience and all, it scared the living. It's just,
I don't think it'd be your thing. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't sound like my. But I'm trying to get my guts up to go.
Let's see what happens once you get to meet Brett.
I'm trying to. Oh, I've seen his stuff. It's his stuff that makes me want to do it. I'm like,
it has nothing to do with the pictures. Scott
no.
would love.
Oh yeah,
like
it's just doing. And Matt's got a killer picture
it's when
from
that door opens.
Yeah, and then it's just I don't know. And like Matt said, you have to scoot down. I'm like, I am not scooting down, bro.
Hey, a parachute and a little Xanax. You'll make it. You'll be okay.
A parachute.
There might be a lot of Xanax.
Don't forget this.
There might be a lot of Xanax in that. Just saying.
All right.
I could prescribe that for you.
So what's going on? You guys know I'm going down to Antarctica in February. We just had a briefing for the people that are going. They've got this whole boat. I think it's the Sea Spirit that is going down there. And I will just say this. Everybody says it's an amazing adventure. Like everyone's getting there makes going to Lofoten look like a walk in the park.
Piece of cake.
But
did Rick Salmon tell you about the occupational hazard in Antarctica?
No.
It's the penguin poop.
Oh, the penguin poop. I have heard about that. There's a lot of poop. And you have to decontaminate yourself, by the way, when you come back on the ship. You have to go through.
I would hope so.
You have to go through. So I'm one of the instructors of the Munch workshops, and man, they've got their stuff together. I did a webinar with them last night. I was just a participant. It's for people that are new to the experience of going to Antarctica, and they have their stuff together like you can't believe. They do these things all the time, and I was like, man, I got to do some shopping. I got to get these special gloves and all that. But they provide you with a lot of stuff like coats and boots and all that. They provide you with all that stuff.
The big parkas there.
Yeah, the big parkas, those right there. But anyway, I'm looking forward to going. And
once you're there, I mean, everybody I've talked to, once you're there, it's amazing. It's just getting there sometimes.
It's getting there, yeah.
But it's sometimes stuff in life that is awesome isn't easy.
This is true. Real quickly before we get to all the new goodies, we've got the Wildlife Photography Conference coming up in early December. What's the date, Mr. Kuna? You know?
Yeah, it's like December 9th
through
the 11th, I believe. They'll probably bring up a graphic for it. Or
they have graphics.
Website, graphic, or something.
There it is.
There it is. The 10th and 11th, 9th through the 11th, because we have the day before we have a pre-con day. So you can come the 9th for the pre-cons, and then the 10th and 11th, we've got 2 tracks. We've got bunch of classes, I think 20 plus classes, all about wildlife photography. So if you want to master wildlife photography in like 2 days and really, if you're into it and you just want to take it to that next level, that's where, check it out next month, the 9th, 10th, and 11th over at kelby1live.com.
And is Platypod going to be there?
Platypod will be there.
They're usually there.
We're going to have 2 Larrys there.
All right, the double Larrys.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like kind of Inception.
There you go right there. There's a Platypod for wildlife.
Speaking of Larrys, all right, Larry. You're on the show. Now, it's almost the holidays. You guys always have like blowout deals at the end of the year. So you got deals. Anything else that you have?
Yes.
That I didn't see until today?
Yes. Well, first of all, before I get to that, okay, we're running a program now called our 7 Weeks of Savings program, where each week we're putting up a flash sale for a few days, but you're only going to know about it. Well, you could go to Platypod every single day, or if you just sign up for our email list, you'll get a notification, and I think you'll find some amazing deals throughout the holiday season. So please do sign up for those emails. And I hope you've already seen our YouTube channel. Larry Becker, Kirsten Lutz, Riley Arthur are putting up videos on our channel every week, Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern, 3 to 10-minute videos, which I think you'll find really interesting. And if you already have a Platypod, it'll give you some ideas of what kind of things you can do in all areas of your photography. So if you haven't already done it, head over to YouTube and type in the search box Platypod channel, and you will get to see our videos. One other little notification, Scott, you got a bunch of people watching the show in Europe, correct?
We do indeed, absolutely.
Well, we've had a problem in the past where if you order from, which camera am I looking at? Okay.
Yeah.
If you order from Europe, it could take as long as 1 to 6 weeks to get your stuff from New Jersey out to Europe. Coming the end of the month, we plan on having warehousing in Belgium. So we're going to cut down 1 to 6 weeks to 1 to 6 days to get your stuff there. So we hope that's going to help a lot of people, also with VAT issues and stuff like that. That's going to be a big help. So look out for that. We will send out an email blast on that as well. All right. I did promise you one new thing today, and that is this. This is, can you all see that? This is the Platypod Traveler. It's a mighty little ball head with a true panning base, okay, and 36 millimeter ball. We have rated this to 16 pounds, and if we can pull out a little bit here, I'm going to show you the experiment that we did. We took a Platypod Extreme, hung it from a tree, and put about 16 pounds of weight on it, and we were able to support more weight than this, okay?
Nice.
And just a very strong little ball head, and it is pricing at, you want to guess what it costs?
Well, I know what ball heads like this go for, so I'm going to say 69 would be my guess, 59, 69, somewhere in there.
$39.95, Scott, and it ships together with a Platypod disc, our own round Arca
you didn't
disc.
give me a chance to do $39.95. That's crazy. That's insanity.
And are we giving one away at the show today?
Are you?
Yes,
We
I
are.
think we are.
All right,
So Erik
let's
has
go.
one right over
Yeah,
there.
right there.
This
And
is
you can
really
give it.
nicely. It's nicely done.
Oop, and
and that
there's the
price
disc.
is right. That's a good price for it.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
think-
cool that you get the disc with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's unique, you know?
Yeah.
There are a lot of small ball heads out there on the market, and we wanted to have something that is special, and I think this makes it very special. And if you notice, the camera that I have here is mounted with a disc at the bottom.
I like it's lightweight.
Yeah,
it's
and if
lightweight,
you
and
have
then
an
also the
Ultra,
panning
ooh.
on the bottom. The
Yeah, the
panning
panning.
on the bottom, like having
But
the
if you
panning.
had an Ultra, this is like the perfect size.
Yeah, it's not too big.
Ooh, not
And
too big.
it's
not
great for vacationing, for travelers, which is why it's called
Oh, the Traveler.
The Traveler. So take a look at
Larry,
our
I would
website.
expect something like this to go for $150. What would you say, Erik?
At least $299.
Probably $299. But what did you say the price was on this, Larry?
$39.95.
That's crazy. That's
Crazy talk.
insanity.
That's better than many
It's
groceries.
Crazy, Larry.
Better than
nice.
many groceries today.
Hey, for that
Seth.
price, that's nice.
All
No,
right.
seriously, that is a really good price, all joking aside.
A few other things. I'll just remind everybody, I think we talked about this on the show before, we do now have, for non-photographers even, our Platypod grip for smartphones, and you can fit pretty much any smartphone on here. Eric, you agree? You
And I will say, even if you are a photographer, you should have it, because even if you're not a non-photographer who is a photographer, you should have it.
So the base comes off, and you can put this pretty much on any tripod.
That's what I love. It fits on a tripod, yeah.
It'll even clamp right into any Arca
Swiss, yeah.
clamp here. And don't forget, also through the holiday season, we're running specials on the Platypod Ergo. The Ergo normally sells for $269. It is now priced till the end of the year, $199. Grab yours before they run out.
That's
great
crazy.
ball head.
Crazy.
This is insanity.
I will say though, like that, the phone holder, the grip, that is for the price the best one on the market.
Yeah,
the best one. Like,
because you can
phenomenal.
get these. Other people make them, but they're quite expensive.
If for that quality, they're quite expensive. Because not only that, it's cool because it's made all of metal, and then it has that knob there where you can turn it in any direction. So being able to turn this in any direction,
Wait,
like
is there a bundle, Larry, where the base and the whole thing?
Yeah.
Or do you have to
There
buy
is.
2 pieces?
Yes,
telling
there
you.
is. And I think right now it's $39, but I'm sorry, $49. But watch out, that price is going to fluctuate a little bit, and
I
hopefully,
mean, during the 7 weeks of crazy madness?
that's correct.
you mean if you signed up for your email list, you'd know. There you go.
Also now, Platypod Extremes, for those of you who would like to pick one of those up, now ships with our new retractable tips. I don't know if you can see that. So these little rubber and plastic tips will allow you to reveal and hide the sharp spikes on the Platypod, and it will give you some rubber grip there as well. And if you already have a Platypod Extreme and don't have those tips and want them for under $9, we do sell that as a little kit.
There you go.
And there we go. There.
Platypod
You know what's
tips.
so funny?
We can do a little dance.
This all started from one product, right?
that's
From
correct.
the original, I guess, the original Platypod.
You remember
I still have
you
the
remember
original
the story
one.
of how this started?
Still have the original one.
I remember where you and I met. I don't know how the whole, but you had already created it, hadn't you?
I already created it. You and I met at the Javits Center,
Yep.
and I was waiting around to meet with you, and just sort of never came to
My
the
brother
meeting.
introduced us, right? My brother.
No, you were sitting at Peach Pit Press at a booth right next to us, signing charts, and I said, Mr. Kelby, I was at Photoshop World 6 months ago, and you were supposed to come over to my booth and meet me. You never ever came. Can I meet you now? And
don't
you
like
did.
that story.
And
I don't like that story.
Yeah, I don't like that
and,
story
and
either.
as Bogey said, that was the start of a beautiful friendship.
I remember my brother telling me there's this guy who wants to meet you, and one day he'll have crazy 7-week deals.
But this all started from a trip in Bryce Canyon, where my wife Minna and I were walking down the canyon. I was carrying my, I won't name the brand, 5-pound tripod kind of hanging off my belt, and walking up 1,000 feet on the Navajo Trail, coming back up the canyon. I basically ended up at the cardiologist after all that. And I said, there's got to be a better way.
Well, that's
and
a
I
hard
tried,
hike.
I
It's a
tried
hard
all the
hike.
twisty, bendy tripods. They took up too much space in the camera bag. That was the problem. I didn't want to displace a telephoto lens for that. So I was looking for a flat tripod, and nobody made one. So
Yeah.
we decided to go ahead and invent it, and there began the Platypod.
Your wife is lovely, by the way, Mina.
She is.
She's a sweetheart.
Great person.
Well, I'll tell you, it has grown into a whole complete line of accessories that we can put our tripod or put our cameras into really interesting positions.
And the best is yet to come. I'll be back here in about 6 weeks or 7 weeks, and we can talk. And there's gonna be a Kickstarter.
Ooh, what?
Yes.
All right, when's
Cool.
there going to be swag? Is there any Platypod swag? You can buy a shirt, a cup, anything.
This hat is available for the price of
$19.99. I don't.
$9.95.
Oh, 19. How much? I don't know. What ball cap's? What? 20, 25 bucks?
Well, we have carabiners available. If you please come to meet us, Larry Becker and I are going to be at the Gaylord Hotel in Grapevine, Texas,
Oh,
in
yes, I know where
February
that is.
for PPA.
Yeah.
For Imaging USA 2025. I hope we'll get to see you. Come up to the booth, say hello, and I'll be happy to give you some swag. We have some extra carabiners around. We'll be giving those away. So
He's very swaggy.
Swag.
All right.
Swagger.
Well, that's what's all the new stuff, and there's a lot of good stuff. So go to platypod.com every day. Go twice or 3 times a day. No, go sign up for their newsletter.
That
you
Sounds
don't
like you
have
should
to
sign
do
up
that.
for the newsletter.
I would
so
sign
you
up
get
for the
notified
newsletter.
for the 7 weeks of
Savings.
I would
7
do
weeks
it.
of savings.
And we do put out a beautiful newsletter every month. I think
It's
one's
beautiful.
coming out
it's,
this week.
It's beautiful. You know how
There
people
you go.
describe your newsletter? They go, "This is beautiful."
It is. It is. And we feature 3 photographers in that newsletter. Who knows? You might be
Beautiful.
the next one.
You might
There
be
you
the
go.
next one. All right.
We have one here today who I just met at WPPI, Brett Schauf, at WPPI this past year. And he just showed me his work and blew me away. I said, you know what, Brett, I'm going to get you on the grid. And he said, what? And I said, yep, we'll do it.
He has that kind of power. He's crazy. All right. So thank you very much, Larry. Thank you for showing us all this
You're
stuff.
welcome.
Thanks, Larry.
I'm gonna head out a little bit and let Brett.
And we're going to
take
give
the
one of
seat.
these bad
But we
boys
got a
away
bunch of,
today.
We got a bunch of things to give away, though. You know
We do.
That. You
We
know
do.
that, right?
So,
we're-
when we come back from the break, we're going to go
gonna
over what we're going to. Well, actually, we better do it now because we're going to
Yes.
switch. We're switching guests.
we're switching.
But wait,
So-
before we go, wait a minute. Wait, you guys have to know. Now, you might remember him, but Skip Cohen just stepped into the building.
Yeah.
He's a living legend. I don't know how living he is, but he is a legend in the photography industry. There's Skip. Wait, almost to him. Almost to him.
wait.
Skip right there, right next to Larry. All right, there he's the other Larry we call him. There's Skip Cohen. Skip, how
And
you doing,
Charlene's
Skip?
here. Charlene's here also.
Land, there's Brett. You're going to see him move. And Charlene's here doing a class. And Larry, I
Yeah.
have no idea why Larry's here. But, he's a nice guy, so we welcome him in the building. But really, we have
Well,
no use for him.
I put in for an Uber and Larry picked up the call and was kind enough to bring me here.
Oh, wait, Larry brought you?
Larry Becker brought me here.
Wow. Well, then you can stay, Larry. Larry has done something. All right, now we're
Before
going
we
to
go,
say, what are we going to give
we
away?
got tons
Look,
of
they were
giveaways.
Did you see that? They went to
Tons.
the jib. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
They were starting to move and everything.
Yes, but we're
Jason.
giving away the Traveler, so we've got that we're going to give
Woo!
away. We're also giving away a copy of Moose Peterson's Takeoff Aviation book. So if you're all into
Terrific
aviation
book.
photography, we're going to give that away to somebody. Then we're giving away a copy of Scott's new Crush the Composition book.
What?
So we're giving away.
We
a
just
copy
got
of
some. I'll give you
that.
one today.
Yes,
I'll
so
give
we're
you one.
Giving one away.
All right, don't leave without one.
Okay.
All right.
And then we're giving a copy of On One No Noise 2024.
Hey, wait, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So that Crush the Composition book, if you pre-ordered one from Rocky Nook, they're delivering. They delivered starting last week. So people are actually getting printed copies
Yep.
of it, which
Yep.
we've only waited for it for, 4 years.
Yeah.
It was printed in South Korea.
think it was 6
And then
months.
put on, I think, a small raft. And there's been adrift in the Pacific Ocean for I don't know how long. But they finally arrived at Rocky Nook's and they're on their way to Amazon's warehouses now.
Yep. And then we're giving away, well, we said On One No Noise 2024. We're giving
Yes.
that away. We're also giving away a V-Flat from V-Flat World. Now, for this one, you have to have a U.S. shipping address. So U.S. shipping only for that one. But great product for, having a V-Flat that folds up really small. Now, everybody can get 10% off. They got to use that code Kelby10 at checkout to get 10% off. And then we're giving away a copy of Retouch for Me's iBundle. So this is a awesome AI plugin for Photoshop for retouchers, people that are retouching a lot of portraits, to be able to retouch this specifically for the eyes. So it's their eye bundles, eye vessels, and eye brilliance, those two ones. But everybody can get a discount on that as well. They got to use the code Kelby120 at checkout. They do have to go to a site though, promo.retouch4.me.
Retouch for Me has ruined me for retouching because
I know.
that's all I used. I use their plugins. I've got numerous of their plugins, and
Yeah, it's just like one button.
that's all I use.
Yeah.
If they use AI, but I just want to say something about Retouch for Me. It's not. It's for like people who do serious retouching. Like if you're a professional retoucher, you would use this plugin. Or if you're a high-end photographer and you do a lot of portrait work, this isn't one of those portrait things for $69 that it does everything and it's not like that. This is like serious, crazy
But
math.
if you were going to say, if you had the money, right,
Yes,
and you just were like, hey, I want the best that's just easy.
it's the best.
It's the best that's kind of easy,
Yeah,
right?
that's all I use anymore. That's
there you
it.
go. And then we've got Slick Picks. Slick Picks giving away 1 year of their classic gallery plan. This has to be a new customer only. So if you want to enter that, just be a new customer. And everybody can get a discount on that one. They just got to go over to slickpick.com/Kelby1. All right, to enter those prizes, all you got to do is leave us a comment no matter where you're watching. We're watching all the channels. Just leave us a comment. Tell us what you'd like to win. And then, the other thing is if you have any questions, leave us any questions. We'll be glad to answer them. And then also just tell us where you're from, where you're tuning in. So we will give away those prizes at the end of the show. But now we got to take a break.
Now we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Brett Schauf will be joining us. And we've got lots of giveaways, lots of fun stuff. Stick around. We're live right here on the grid. Don't go away with Skip Cohen.
And tune
Master the art of wildlife photography. Join us at the 2-day Wildlife Photography Conference by Kelby One. Over 20 inspiring sessions. Learn from world-renowned wildlife photographers, underwater techniques, wildlife portraits, bird photography, macro photography, best camera settings, editing tips and photography ethics. Capture the wild. Your best wildlife photos are just one conference away.
I'm pro landscape photographer Ian Plant, and right now I am standing here bathed in the glory of sunrise at Acadia National Park in Maine. What makes this park special is that it is a dynamic coastal environment. You are constantly seeing it change right before your eyes as the tides and the weather changes. And that allows you to make unique compositions that are all your own. You can go out there and be very creative as you explore the changes of this park unfolding before your very eyes. And in this class, I am going to teach you a variety of techniques to optimize your fall foliage and coastal photographs. And we'll talk about techniques that will allow you to get coastal images that stand out and get noticed. And come join me on an epic photo adventure in my latest class over at kelby1.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Hey, we are back. Scott and Erik are still here, but we want to welcome to the set Brett Schauf, who is a incredible aviation photography, who does very scary air-to-air stuff. Welcome.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate
good to see
it.
you.
Great to see you, and can't tell you how much I appreciate being here.
Oh, we're honored to have you here. You know, we're big fans of
Well,
aviation
we always like to talk about
photography.
aviation.
We will talk
Yeah.
about aviation photography. That's when we do our blind critiques. If anybody ever sends in aviation, we always try to get it in there because we love to talk about them.
Oh, good to know.
But can we just show them a couple of your pictures? We've been bragging about your photography. Let me just take a couple of look
Yeah.
at it. Oh, see, that's air to air right there.
So this is one of the more recent ones we've done, just out in California, and had the opportunity to go up in another plane, drop the doors down, and and shoot some photos.
There's
of
where
it.
Scott's like,
See the drop the doors down thing.
It's
It's the drop the doors down. Hey, there's like someone broke into a car outside. I don't know if you guys can hear it, a horn honking.
Everybody seems to think it's intimidating, but when you're behind a camera, you just kind of zone everything out anyway.
Now, I have heard that once you start shooting, you kind of forget about it. The screaming stops. You stop screaming. You stop blacking out and stuff.
That does work for me.
All right, can we? Oh, I love this one.
There's lots of screaming, but it's
Hey,
usually
can you hit the
because
letter F? Can you hit F? Was that work? See if that works
hey.
for our
There we
screen.
go.
Here we go. Okay. I love the background behind that.
See, people say Kansas is boring.
Oh, that's Kansas.
Boy, in the right time of year, you can get some just rolling tundra, just that texture, the colors, the vibrancy.
Oh, that's
I don't know. I don't
nice.
think Kansas is that boring. I've been driving through Kansas, and it's a storm there a lot of times. Every time I drive through, it's amazing.
The great thing is with aviation photography and air-to-air, the off-season we can storm chase. So there's a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
I know we can just keep. Now, this was actually from a workshop we did a few years ago with Larry Grace, the ISAP guys.
Larry Grace. Larry Grace.
Told me to tell you hi, so now we've got it on camera.
All
so
right,
we can't
good.
say I
No,
didn't
we
do
love
it.
Larry Grace.
Yeah, that's just a nighttime shoot we set up with a nighttime engine run. We had behind the scenes, there's probably 8 or 9 people shooting that
And this
shot.
plane is.
It's B-29 Doc. We're based in Wichita, Kansas.
So Doc is the
name of it.
the actual name.
Yep.
Painted on the side.
It is. Probably don't have anything with the logos on it. This was the night after we did the shoot with the B-29. A local aviation guy brought his plane out and staged it for another nighttime shoot.
Oh, look at this, the blues.
They are, I don't know, in my opinion, they're one of the best performance teams there are.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all
I
just
think
incredible.
They're
Anybody
probably
that
the
can-
best.
Yeah, I think they
honestly.
probably are the best.
But they,
No offense to any of the other ones. But
no, none at all. But
they kind of are.
they stay in the box. They
do. They're tight.
Yeah.
They're tight.
Yeah.
You can count on them.
So where do you? And by the way, if you have any comments or you have any questions or anything for Brett, just drop them in the thing because I already have questions. So can we bring up that picture again?
Which one?
Oh, this one right there. All right. So you're shooting from what? What plane are you in?
I am actually in dock. So this is
You're
the
in
tail
the
gunner's position of the
B-29.
B-29.
Wow. Wait a minute.
Yeah, the tail gunner.
So
yeah.
you're shooting through glass?
Yeah.
I could do that.
You could do
that.
that.
I could do that. I could do that. I don't want the open door, but I could. This is a great picture. How fast is Doc going here?
So those planes are flying about as slow as they can possibly fly to stay in that formation with Doc.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a difference in performance windows there between an F-18 and a B-29.
yes,
but,
yes.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
those guys are amazing. And
But can I ask you a question?
sure.
How do you get to do something like this? How do you say, hey, Blue Angels, here's what I need you to do. You guys, I know you're not probably busy today. Could you get into formation and fly in this formation? I'm going to be in a World War II B-29 in the gunner's position, and I'm going to be photographing you. Like, how does this even happen? Like, what's the backstory here?
You surround yourself with great people because none of this happens without the people in your life to help you support it and to do it for you. Or not do it for you, but support you and make it happen.
Yeah, it makes stuff happen.
We obviously with Doc, we tour the country, we go to air shows, we see the same people, we make friends. While sitting in the air show, you start talking to some of the Blue Angels and it's like, hey, how cool would it be to fly the Blue Angels with the B-29? Well, they all happen to be great aviation enthusiasts as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they are.
It's not something you have to talk them into doing. It's something you have to talk their superiors into letting them do. And really, no, it's simply making the ask.
Wow.
Say, hey,
Yeah.
we're both going to be at this air show at the same time. We're in the air at this time. You're in the air practicing at this time. We go out to this little, you join up, and we do a quick publicity shoot. And
That's
here
so
we go.
cool. Wow.
So
Now, with that shot, technically, did you have to worry about any reflections? Do you have like a skirt or a hood or anything?
I had
like that?
the lens hood
Yeah.
just right up against the glass.
Yep.
And the hardest part about it is you're getting beat up. It's pretty rough in the tail, especially
Yeah.
it's pretty warm.
You're going like,
yeah, it's nice.
I could still do that besides opening that back door. I could still do it. I could be back there like this. That wouldn't bother me at all. Like, there's no.
And then the minute they say open the doors, you're like, I'm out.
no, there's the glass. There's the glass. It's okay.
I'm glad there's not propellers on those planes. I don't think I could have held the shutter long enough to get that shot. But yeah, they're jets. You can just bump it up there and, and have some fun. This is the opposite end of the spectrum. You know, you go from an F-18 Super Hornet to a
was like a Cessna 182. Oh,
182s, yeah. You know, now this is not hanging out the back of a plane, but just pulling the side doors off and kind of
wait, doors off?
Doors off.
You know what my saying is, guys? Doors off, I'm out. Oh, this is nice.
But this was actually shot from the cockpit of a Game Bird composite plane. So it's just a little small acrobatic plane. And again, shooting through glass using some diffusion or, lens coverings. And
yeah, for people that don't know, like what you were talking about before, you see the prop spin there. Well, that's what we were talking about before, where the jets, you were able to raise your shutter speed.
Yeah, you could
really didn't care.
Whatever, yeah.
Here, you're probably low in that shutter speed. I mean, what are you at right there?
Without looking at the metadata, I'm looking at the B-29 props. There's a little bit of gap there, probably 1/125th of a second. It's not as slow as I'd like, but...
But the point being is that's what's challenging with the props is you have to go to a slower shutter speed to get that prop blur.
It's a personal preference, and everybody will have their hill they want to die on. I want to show motion. I want to show that the plane is flying. I don't want that just to be a static look.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, it's a personal preference, and I love to see.
Props got to be moving.
I agreed.
Yeah, and what's interesting that people don't realize about the shooting the props is you have to have a slow shutter speed, but you also have to have the light hitting it at an angle where you can see the prop. If you don't have the light hitting it right, it'll just be invisible even if you are in a very
away.
Yeah, it almost kind of vanishes. Look at that. What a tight formation that is for Cessnas. It's the Cessna flight team.
It is. Again, part of doing this is surrounding yourself with great people, great talent. All I can do is sit in the plane and take the pictures, and obviously there's a ton of communication, and you're talking, each plane relaying to the pilot, adjustments up, down, back, forward, just trying to get them into those positions. It doesn't happen without great people, and I've been very blessed and very fortunate to have been surrounded with some.
Have you ever met Skip Cohen?
A couple minutes ago, right?
He's great people.
He is great people.
So
I remember years ago.
On that shot there, though, talking about formations, like how do you, as a photographer, communicate? Like, how are you guys communicating the formation?
So on a shoot like this, I'll have a headset on. I communicate usually through the co-pilot of the plane I'm in. So we'll have the pilot flying the planes, and the co-pilot will be our communication. So I'll relay to him, hey, second plane, up 5, and he'll relay that over the radio. So it's just open radio communications. I don't speak directly to the pilots in the formation. I relay it through. That way we don't step on any important communications that may be going on at the time.
Yeah, I just think that's important. Like it's like a dance that you're having to do there.
It really is. We just recently did a shoot where there were actually another airplane, so a total of 4 airplanes as the subjects. And just that one extra airplane adds an exponential amount of logistics, or an increase in logistics and going from there. So
cool.
Again, just some of the basic commercial work.
And that's what Scott was talking about there, where like you can see the sun's hitting the plane in the front there, and it's hitting the prop, and it's hitting the white highlights on the prop and the red highlight on the prop, and that's why you're getting that spin.
Now look at the next shot that you just showed, and the light isn't hitting it as much. There is you can see a little bit of it on the tail of the props or the.
But it's not as pronounced because it's not hitting it at a direct angle.
My favorite is to get the angle where you get the little lightning bolts coming off the prop. Somewhere that exists and something I've shot. Yeah,
right there.
I'm pointing to my screen like you can see it. But
that's nice.
And that's the sun being reflected.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's look at that. And that's a full. Now look what was the shutter speed here?
That's probably because that's a smaller prop. No, that was probably 60th. Yeah,
60th? I wasn't off. I was all.
I've tried to shoot 30th of a second, but boy, you get a lot of blurry images when you're moving subject.
Yeah, you're moving, platform. They're moving, the prop's spinning. It's not easy. Was this in Kansas?
This is in Kansas also. it's a real unique system that, every spring they burn the fields. They burn off the prairie grass to regenerate the new grass for cattle grazing and things like that. But it just creates a really vibrant, dark green with that black char underneath it, and just a great background.
Yeah, that's
great
beautiful.
Photo background.
Yeah, it is really
Beautiful.
cool.
I love contrast. I love color, and it just gives you what you're looking for.
There's a particular photo I'm waiting for. Hadn't shown up yet. Here, this is, that's nice.
So
Now-
this was a 4th of July honor flight where we that's a B-25. The B-25 and the B-29 did a quick formation flight. And of course, I'm in the back of the B-29, and again, surrounding yourself with great people, knew what I was looking for. And when he comes up behind, hits that smoke, you can tell exactly where he started the smoke on, but that just creates
That's
the
nice.
great shot. And
Oh,
here's
look at that one.
another
Oh,
perspective
that's
of it.
nice. I like that one. I think I like the color of the other one in the sunset, but this angle here, I really like the where you can see the insignias on the wings. You got the really nice propeller, really clear. That's nice. That's a nice shot, dude.
Yeah, I like it.
That's nice. That's a swinger. All right, what else? Come on, you got to look at it. I'm waiting for my shot here. Ooh, that's nice.
This
I
honestly,
like
this
that.
a not air-to-air shot.
No.
Still one of my favorites.
I like it a lot. I like the background.
The background is so significant.
Where is this?
This is in Inyukurn. So if you've ever seen the movie Top Gun,
Sure.
the airport that they filmed a lot of those scenes in the Mojave Desert, that's where this is.
So the airfield is in the Mojave Desert?
Uh-huh. Yep. It's a little town called Inyukurn. It's real close
Write that down.
It's real close to China Lake, which is where the Navy tests all the weapons and new concepts. So, but when Doc was retired from active service, it was sent to the Mojave Desert to die. I mean, that was its resting home. So it was pulled out of the Mojave Desert and it was pulled in to Inyukurn, and that's where its restoration process started. So we had a lot of the local heroes that are from that area pull the plane out of the desert, rescue it, and got it to Inyukurn and started that process until we could get it to flight. So
How long
that
did it
plane-
take from pulling it out of the desert to getting to where it was flight ready?
It was about 5 years, I think, to get out of the desert and into Inyukurn, and then in 2000 it got to Wichita. And I'm going to let you do the math. In 2016, we flew it for the first time.
Oh, goodness.
So 16
That's
years.
some dedication right there.
That is. That's some dedication.
It's the most amazing volunteer crew you could ever want to be around. But just 16 years worth of restoration to take the plane from, a desert relic to a flying museum that it is today.
Very
Wow.
cool. So maybe, again, from a technical perspective, like a little different here because you're standing still on the ground.
Right.
Tracking. So how is that different than pacing with another plane?
So now instead of pacing with another plane, I'm panning with the camera.
Yeah.
So it's no different like Scott when you go shoot sports or,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
like that. It's just that panning, but you still
Yeah, because these shots are very difficult because they're not coming by you. You're just panning just slightly
Right.
up to that's a hard shot right there. It doesn't look that hard, but it
But it
actually
looks
is
good.
a very
It's-
hard shot.
Yeah, and that's probably one of my favorites, just because of the symbology behind it, the location, that taking off from the desert once again. So,
Yeah, it's very
from an
cool.
emotional standpoint,
Shoot, I thought it
that's-
was landing.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we have to take a break. We've been going on, and I've lost track of time. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we got a couple of comments from you guys. If you have any questions, pop them in there. Because remember, if you ask a question or you make any kind of comment, you're entered to win. When you make your comments, please add what you want to win. If you want to add the new Platypod Traveler, or you want to add something else, or you
the
want to
books.
win the books. Let us know what you want to win so we send you the right stuff. And I wonder how long he'll hold the jib up there. Oh, it's still moving. God,
It's
this is
slightly
not,
moving.
This is not Dobson.
panning
That's,
with us.
that's Erik.
Panning with
He's
us.
really got this down. Look, we're almost.
Oh,
he
hit the limit.
Oh, he hit the limit. All right, stick around. We'll be right back with more aviation talk. So we'll be right back. Don't go away.
You know what? I absolutely cannot wait to go to Japan.
And what's crazy is Larry didn't really care about going to Japan.
I thought it would
a couple
be
of hours
interesting,
ago.
yeah, but
He was kind of ambivalent about it.
blown away.
But you know what? Larry and I just did a class where I am basically showing Larry why he needs to go to Tokyo. It's part of a series of classes that I've done. It's called A Photographer's Guide to Tokyo. There's so much to do. There's so much to see. It's such a photogenic place. And that's what we talked about in this class. I show you exact locations, where to go. I give you the address. I show you sample pictures. I give you tips. I talk about all those things that you would want to know. If a friend said, you're going to Tokyo, here's where you got to go. I got it all in here. It is packed. You're going to love it. Come with me on this journey. It's Photographer's Guide to Tokyo, and it's exclusively here at kelby1.com.
I am a portrait and wedding photographer based in Valencia, Spain.
I do mainly commercial and editorial photography, and I retouch up to 100 photos a month.
We shoot almost every day for all kinds of clients, such as commercial, beauty, and fashion. And we retouch our work more often, like every other day.
I used to spend over 1 hour for one photo.
If we want professional results, we must remove skin blemishes, do micro dodge and burn, highlight eyes, whiten teeth, and even reduce wrinkles in clothes. And this can easily take me up to 2 hours of work for each photo.
So when I saw that there's a plugin for Photoshop that helps you retouch quicker, I was eager to get my hands on it.
I read many feedbacks about it, and I found a lot of positive reviews, which made me to consider buying my first plugin.
One of the challenges we have at the end of a session or wedding is to achieve an edition in our photograph that look natural. This is where retouch for me has become a game changer.
I love the feature that you can pick how much effect it has on your photo, and you can adjust it accordingly to your style.
I saved a lot of time and always end up having amazing result with my work.
I am extremely happy with the quality.
Now, I am more efficient and have more time to spare with my family.
Hey, I'm Mary, a studio photographer from Orlando, Florida, coming to St. Pete to shoot in the outdoors. Today, I'm going to show you how to take beautiful portraits in any scenic environment. We're going to go and shoot in the park. We're going to find beautiful trees. We're going to shoot against buildings. And we're going to show you how to get creative elements in really, really busy environments like an alley. We're going to go through and show you how to pull your subject out of a background. We're going to show you how to take a really busy environment and kind of hone in on your subject. So join me here at kelby1.com. I'll see you there.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
And we are back. Got a couple of comments over here.
Yeah, we got comments coming in. A couple about, here's Scott's book. Karen saying, I received Scott's new book, Cross the Composition, from Rocky Nook on Monday, and it's amazing. I love it. It had so much information and easy to read, and has tons of amazing photos.
Thank you, Karen. Thanks very much.
And Doty's saying, if you can and don't win, get Scott's book. I love this book. Not only tons of fabulous information, but wow, the photography, of course, is amazing. I can't say enough about this book.
Thank you, Doty. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Unsolicited testimonials. Make sure you go to Amazon and share those thoughts. You know, it's one thing if I tell people, hey, you should buy my book, it's great, or whatever.
It's true, the
but when you
reviews
hear
on
it,
Amazon.
When you hear it from someone who actually bought the book and they own it themselves, it really does make a difference. So anyway, if you got nothing to do, head over to Amazon. All right, we're talking aviation today. And Brett sharing some of his
and if you guys have
work.
any questions, let us know and we'll ask. So just let us know in the chat.
All right, can we just hit this round of photos here? These are start up in the left. Let's just go through them.
If that's left, then we'll start there.
And hit F. Don't forget about F, the all-important F for full
So this
screen.
is when you were flying with them and you said, hey, what about if we fly
So this is actually a second time.
Okay,
So
second time.
This is
Which is always a good thing. You do the first one.
Yeah.
And then you can do
Yeah,
the
you
second
learn,
one.
right.
Yeah.
And so this time we wanted to do it where I was actually in a different plane and we could include Doc in the photos with the Blue Angels. So this is out of the Houston Air Show a couple years ago.
The Alliance Air Show? The Fort? No, no.
No, Houston.
Houston. Oh, okay.
Wings over Houston.
Wings over Houston.
It's wings over something. It's always wings
Hey,
over.
hey, there's a question while we have the spin going on the propellers
Yep.
there. So
Yep.
TC Guru's asking a question.
Yeah, asking, I might have missed this, but what was the exposure range used to get those great propeller photos?
So on the B-29, ideally I would be 60th to 80th of a second. That gives me pretty close to a full arc. Some of the smaller planes, especially if they have 4 blades, you can 100th, 125th of a second. There's a lot of variables included in that, of course. You know, how fast are they spinning, what's the RPM, and how big they are, and how many blades. But usually you're going to drag that shutter just a little bit, 125th or under for almost every plane if you're shooting props.
Yes.
You start-
And
you start
understanding you're going to miss a lot.
You're going to miss a lot.
You're going to get a lot of blurry shots. Are you shooting in shutter priority mode? Or are you in manual?
A lot of manual with auto ISO. Some of the new cameras are just so good in reading that exposure, and it's just so easy to reach up and hit the plus or minus ISO.
And which, what do you shoot? Nikon, Canon, Sony?
Nikon. I've
Nikon?
been Nikon for 10, 15 years or so. Love the new mirrorless system. Love the Z9. Just
Oh, you got the Z9. That's nice. Ooh,
It's-
that's,
Yeah.
you
that's
know,
a nice camera. Ooh,
I'm still
that's
of the
nice.
school that it's every camera out there, every manufacturer out there right now is just making
Oh,
it.
yeah.
We're
Yeah,
in
they're
such a
killing it.
golden age of
Given it,
equipment.
and
It's-
you could take all the shots that you're showing with any of those DSLRs.
Oh, without a doubt.
It's and any
That's-
mirrorless,
yeah, mirrorless.
whatever,
Yeah.
whatever you want.
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I have the mental capacity to learn a new system or not. But yeah,
Well, you probably
besides
could,
that-
in that you'd set your camera on auto ISO.
Yeah.
You would set the settings how you want.
Oh,
have
yeah.
to. You just have to know then how to adjust your shutter speed.
Right.
I mean, that really is the key with those photos is your shutter speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
having
then the technique to actually pan with it and track
And
with
stay
it.
still.
And stay still. That's
Yeah.
that's the key.
That's my hardest
let's,
part. That's the
let's
hardest
don't
part
forget
for me.
that having that high frame rate doesn't hurt.
It does not.
No, it doesn't.
Of course, it does hurt you in the back end when you have to go through all those photos.
Yeah, but again, you're only going to go to the next frame after it exposes for a 1/25th of a second. So it's
Yes.
not going to go.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to go tick 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 tick.
Especially,
even
yeah,
though
you get down
can-
that 1/60th, 1/30th.
Yeah, tick,
Oh, yeah.
tick, 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 tick. It's not going like you. All right, let's see some more. Let's see
all
some
right,
more. Here
what
we
we got
go.
here? So,
I like that static.
Just some of the detail stuff. Man, walking around air shows or in hangars, there's a lot of details that you can capture, and just this was just a personal project. It was kind of rainy, nothing was flying, nothing was going on. Let's just see interesting colors, shapes.
Yeah, the
dynamics.
colors are
What
great
can we
in
do?
that.
And it was great because it was raining, it was overcast, and you get that soft light.
Yeah, look at the-
absolutely.
Yeah, look at the soft light on the propeller.
Fireworks.
Reminds
in
me
air
of a
shows.
Kuna shot here.
Yeah.
Eric's really big on nighttime
I love nighttime.
air show photography.
Yeah, a little
Well,
intimidated to show anything like this in front of Erik because the level of his work is just way up there.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate it.
Just more. So
Oh,
this is
that's
actually a
nice.
fun one. This has been out there a little bit. This is in the middle of the day with 5 strobes at the peak of the eclipse in February.
Ah,
So you get a little bit of that blue sky. I should have looked at the metadata, but that's probably a 10 or 15 second exposure. It was almost dark. Decided to throw some strobes on the plane and light it up.
oh, I love that.
I like that. Yeah.
So this is being at the right place at the right time or just getting lucky. The B-29, the side gunners sat in these big blisters. Those blisters you were able to look almost straight down out of, and I happened to be in one of the blisters during an air show flight. P-51 gunfighter was crossing underneath and was able to
Yeah.
track it, and just right as he crossed almost straight down.
That's a cool one
underneath
because
the
I can
plane.
even see with the blur the way you were panning with it. It was a very unique shot.
Hey, Ken has a question for you here. He wants to know what your lens of choice is when you're shooting air to air. Like, what's your go-to lens?
Boy, a lot of those are 70 to 200, but when you start getting the bigger planes, a little closer formations, 24 to 120. Nikon has the new 24 to 120 f4. 24 to 105s, 24 to 70s. So, I almost always go up with multiple cameras. One of them will always have a 24 to whatever, and one will
24
always
to
have
something.
and one will always have a 70 to 200. Just not a lot of need for anything wider than that. Although the Blue Angel shot we looked at earlier was shot with a 14 to 24. They were close. They were, those guys, they make a
But
living.
were you
flying.
out at 14, or were you kind of in the middle of that?
Probably in the middle of
That's
that
what I
somewhere.
thought, yeah.
Again, it'd be fun to look at the metadata, but
Yeah.
so.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, you don't necessarily, when you're briefing an air-to-air shot, you don't necessarily want.
Oh, look at that.
close.
Yeah, that's neat.
Oh, no, I like that one.
Now this was a fun one, just trying to get a different perspective on the nighttime air show at Oshkosh this year.
Yeah, so you were in the inside.
Yeah.
Inside the B-29, we were lucky because we've been there 7-8 years, and this is the first time we've ever had the
yeah, they
nose of the plane
positioned you.
pointing
Oh,
to it.
that's perfect.
And,
Yeah, because sometimes
That
they'll
is
position you in the
really
runway. It won't be
good.
real.
I really like that.
So Boeing Plaza, you have the crowd laid out in front. So it really kind of tells the story of what that nighttime air show looks like.
Yeah, and I love those. I love the fireworks.
And this is just something this year, just a couple weeks ago, was out at Miramar. Again, shooting from the ground, getting away from show center, trying to get a little different perspective. And
Yeah, you got the condensation cloud with the sun reflecting in it, creating a rainbow.
yeah, which is just fun. So,
There's a lot going on there.
there is a lot going on there. So what other questions do we have?
Well, that's so far it.
Yeah, so far it's it. But if anybody has any questions, just ask. We'd love to answer your questions here about aviation, especially air-to-air. I guess, so think about a couple other questions that we might have. So when it comes to this stuff, like, what do you find with the air-to-air that is the hardest, that not from the technical perspective we were talking about, what's the other things that kind of people don't know about? I know you talked a little bit about the coordination, but what's another thing that's like really hard with that?
Just learning the language, learning the briefing. How do you communicate? So communication
Like the
and
lingo.
safety. Yeah. Every flight you go into, safety is, your briefings start with safety, they end with safety. And there's usually a safety brief in between the safety briefing.
Yeah.
But it's just having that communication, being able to communicate, okay, how do you put a plane, make it look like it's flying straight at you and straight up at you without conflicting and crossing over into airspace, and, just.
I gotcha.
See, I'd be like this. I'd be like, how do you make it go like this? And then this. So that's why they don't let me in these briefings.
The sound effects alone. Yeah.
Well, I know you have to learn a lot of acronyms too, probably.
I hope not,
Yeah,
because
like,
I would probably.
like this is one.
Yeah.
This way. And then there's that way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
This
stuff.
and that.
But just coming up with that common language. How do you tell a plane how far to move? So I usually, and most of the air-to-air photographers I work with you'll have a basic 5 foot,
A smidge.
5, 10, 20 increments. 5 is just
5 feet?
Little. Well,
What is
more
five?
small, medium, and large.
Oh, okay.
So if we're
So
needing
5 is
big
like
jumps,
small.
yeah, just
10
a little
is like
bit.
bigger.
And so when you're in the air, you're trying to create a symmetrical, if there's more than one plane, you're trying to create some symmetry.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's why you have to tell the pilots move a little this way or that
And
way.
you have
you
to
probably
remember
don't
what
want
plane.
them intersecting with each other. Like you have those ones stacked.
Right.
Yeah, like if that gear gets in the wing of the other one, it kind of doesn't look right.
And again, back to the point we talked about earlier, there's probably 200 images that were thrown out because overlapping wingtips or,
Yeah.
Blur or something.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
they weren't paced at the same pace, that kind of
and
stuff.
it's so hard because you can't just reach out and move them. You've got to just gradually work them in, just literally foot by foot, just work them in until, and then you've got to get that shot. You've got one frame burst to make sure you get it because they're moving. They're moving in relationship to each other constantly. And so just trying to get that in there.
I got a good question.
All right.
You ready?
I hope so.
All right. So you're with that team, Doc, right?
Yes.
You're okay.
Yep.
For someone who isn't attached to a team, how do regular people get to do an air-to-air shoot?
You know, there are companies out there that will do workshops. That's probably the easiest way to track that down is just to do some Google research and find out who's offering paid air-to-air experiences. They are not the least expensive ones out there. Hopefully somewhere down the road we can look at putting something like that together. Just the coordination and stuff like that on it.
And some air shows do that, don't they? Like, or the day before the air show or something. Because I remember at Sun and Fun, some guys doing that.
Well, that was like you were talking about. That was the aviation photo crew, which did that.
Right.
You know, and like that's what they do.
That's what they
do workshops at air shows, but yeah, like you said, it's you got to pay for the jet fuel, you got to pay for the pilot's time, you got to pay for the crew's time. Like, it's not a cheap thing.
No, and I've flown with the aviation photo crew. They're the ones that were flying the platform plane in California, and that plane is a big door. That is a very big door that comes open. That you're just kind of dropping your feet over the edge.
Oh, dropping your feet over the edge? No.
We'll say we didn't do that. But you're right there.
No.
Doors down. I'm
out. Yeah, right. If the door's off, I'm out.
Yeah, you can look down and you can look straight down and not see any
Oh
floor. So
God, no.
That sounds great. That sounds fun.
No. All right, we have a question unrelated to aviation photography.
Right. Yep.
So Wendy is asking a question: will the Platypod Traveler hold a camera with a 100 to 500?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah,
it's not going to get you to 16 pounds. I don't know. I don't think there's any 100 to 500 made that will be too heavy for that. So no, this is a sturdy little trucker right here.
You know, there's probably going to be one of those disappear from your table. Just letting you know.
Oh, we'll just move that move that away.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe you'll win the one.
If you crank that down, I bet you could even. I know Larry wouldn't advise it, but I bet you could probably even get something beefier on there.
Oh, a big prime, easily.
Yeah, you could get a big prime on there, no problem.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we are going to be, what are we doing? We're going to be giving away stuff.
We got to give away
stuff. We have stuff to give away when we come back, so stick around. We'll be right back. Don't forget, no matter what happens, Skip Cohen is in the building. And so that right there has got to be worth something. Why do we look blue?
Yeah, we did. We went blue. No.
It's not that monitor. We weren't blue before. Now we're blue.
You know that we do a lot with lighting in our work, right? And I love to find the contrast in my lighting. And it means that, well, high contrast lighting often means that I'm using several strobes. For example, one strobe from one side to light our model and one strobe from the other side to, for example, give an accent, lens flare or whatnot more. But there are also a lot of people that don't own two strobes, or maybe you're limited on your location and you can only use one strobe, right? So we thought it would be a great idea to go back to basics and start a class with using one strobe. But I thought, you know what? We can do a lot of different setups with just one strobe. But let's throw in a little bit of a curveball. Let's also talk about modifiers, what you can do with the modifiers and how you can create mood, contrast, and maybe in the end, add a second strobe to create some extra impact in your images. So join me in an adventure that's actually gonna start with just an open strobe, very, very harsh lighting. Are you ready for it?
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
All right, we are back. We got a couple of more questions here real quick for Brett. First question's from PB. They ask, for ground to air shots, where are you placing yourself? Are you on the flight line of an air show or somewhere else?
Oh, definitely, yeah. No, it really varies. A lot of times I'll be around the flight line, but there's a lot of times I'll be back behind the show line. I want to build in crowd. Erik, I think, has a great tutorial or seminar on aviation photography, and he talks very specifically on placing yourself, getting away, shooting different perspectives.
Yeah, my answer to that is somewhere else.
Yes.
That's where I usually am, because if you want the interesting shots, it's not where everybody else is.
Yeah.
Especially when they're turning in, like if you get them where they turn in or where they turn out, because that's where you get that vape and all that stuff. Like that's where it happens.
You know, and so much of an air show is the people that are there, just that the experiences
the
they're
crowd,
having, the kids on the shoulders of the dads, and
the kid on the shoulder is always the shot.
Really, the hot dogs.
Shot.
It's really.
But get out on the static, because there's a lot that goes on that aren't necessarily flying airplanes. There's a lot of airplanes, and a lot of times the military will have really cool stuff that you just can't believe how close you can get to some of it. So, you know.
Really cool.
Another question from TC Guru. So where are you located within the photo plane? So you're in the plane where is the platform for you to shoot. Where are you in that plane when you take these fantastic shots?
Depends on the type of the plane. So like we were talking about when I was shooting with the Aviation photo crew, they have a big, their plane, the back door opens up and literally I'm right at the back of the plane shooting out the open door.
It's kind of like a big box van.
It really is.
Like where they would just roll up the door. It's like, throw the door down.
Yeah, it's like somebody took a shipping container and threw a wing and a couple engines on it.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, you open the back doors, and that is the most awesome photo platform there is, though. So, but a lot of times I'm shooting out of a smaller single or twin engine Beach Baron or Beach Bonanza, and we just pull the side doors off. In that case, I'm sitting in the doorway, just usually sitting on the floor in the open doorway, just working the shots out from there. So
doors off, I'm out.
The doors off and I'm gone. All
yeah,
right.
There's harnesses involved. It's relatively safe.
All right. So before we go to this other stuff real quick, because I want to talk to you about next week too, is where can people go learn about you? So you're on Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
And what are you on Instagram?
Brett Photo, just my name, BrettPhoto.
Wow. How'd you get that?
I have no idea. I couldn't get it on
Brett Photo. So
yeah.
BrettPhoto
there you go.
On Instagram. Maybe we'll pull that up here. I'm hoping. There we go.
There it is.
Oh, there's a website.
Oh, that's nice. I saw that shot earlier. That's a good shot.
Oh.
That's you. And a lot of blank space. All right, let's
it's funny you mentioned. I was just speaking with some of our guests. We're going to be doing a new Slick Pick website here pretty soon. I'm really excited to get that going.
Oh, see, I like these P51s here. I like that third row down, third one. I really like that. Can we click on that? Yeah, that one. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I like. Look at.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a P40?
Yeah.
I was going to say. All right, but look at that nice propeller there. It's nice. No fish sticks. That's nice. All right. What else? Can you back off? All right. Scroll down a little bit. I just want to see more pictures. Oh, these are a lot of good pictures. Oh, I love that one. I love this. I saw this the other day. So on the right, the Blue Angels in the middle. In the middle row, far right.
You're at 1, 2, 3, 4.
That one.
Oh, there we go.
That's a cool shot.
So that was actually the first time we flew with the Blue Angels out at Oshkosh, and sitting in the back of the B-29. That's actually from the tail gunners. We're shooting through the glass, and on this one, you can kind of tell in the upper right that I was shooting through the glass.
It still works.
It still was cool.
Yeah, I like that.
It's an experience.
Shot.
It's a moment. Yeah. And
I like that. All right, so they should follow you at Brett Photo on Instagram.com. Go do it right now while you're thinking about it. You'll see lots of great photos like these and more. And go scroll down a little more. Oh, these are
fun
nice.
nighttime super guppy
There's
shot.
super guppy.
Super guppy.
Again, just obviously not on the flight line. It's an air show photo. There's fireworks and stuff going on, but
you got the moon.
Yeah, and the crowd. It just kind of gives a feel for the storytelling. Storytelling at the end of the day is still a huge part of what we do.
It's pretty much everything, right? That's lighting is the storytelling. Like all of it's storytelling.
Yep,
it is.
That's what it is.
But
all righty. Well, let me talk about next week real quickly. Next week is our Thanksgiving show. We are thinking that we will all do multiple chicken sandwiches from multiple places. So we would get, for example, like a Zaxby's, a KFC.
We're going to do a live review.
And every segment we're going to eat one, but we want you to do it with us because we want to have Thanksgiving with you. So you're going to have to get a chicken sandwich. Now, the rule, there's only one rule. It can't be one from home. You can't just go to the kitchen and make it. That's cheating. You got to go get a chicken sandwich from one of our approved restaurants.
Now, the hard part here, Scott, is our favorite chicken sandwich place closed. Right?
So we like the Aussie Grill. It won Best Sandwich in Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
the Aussie Sriracha Chicken was the best of any place. And Outback started this chain and they closed the entire chain. So it didn't work for Outback.
Didn't work.
I will say this, it wasn't because of the food, but I will say that the locations that they chose, we were talking about this.
Yeah.
The locations
were
that
terrible.
were funky.
Whoever at Outback Group or whatever picked the locations.
Picked the wrong They
locations.
every one of them was in a bad location.
You could never get to it. It was kind of a weird spot.
Yeah, just in a
you
weird,
had to
like
U-turns.
Yeah, it was all bad.
Just all bad.
Just all bad. But anyway.
And then the other one that Burger King decided to take their one, which was up
The
there.
King was at the right up
and then they
close to
said
the top.
basically, well, we're going to take off the menu because it's so good. We need to make something a little worse.
Yeah, and they did. So what they said was, Burger King's official statement was, we couldn't make this chicken sandwich consistent across all of our locations. In other words, some could pull it off and some couldn't. And then people would have a bad King and they go, well, this isn't what I heard it was. And that's because they could not do it, consistently across their chain. Which
So they go into like a Royals, the
it's
new. Terrible.
So, but you can. I'll tell you some good ones. Of course, Zaxby's terrific. If you have a Zaxby's near you, you know who else has it? I'll give you a couple other ones. PDQ, right? Very, very good. The Buffy Blue is a phenomenal chicken sandwich from PDQ. I know there's a lot of PDQs around. Another chain that has really good ones. And don't go
Popeyes.
to Popeyes. Popeyes is, they're the ones that started all of this. The Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich is phenomenal. That is approved for Thanksgiving. Let's see what else we've got. There's another one I'm thinking of that's got a really good chicken. I don't know how many of you have Huey Magoo's, but Huey Magoo's is a chicken tender chain. It's in about 7 or 8 states. Quite good. Now, I have not tried the McDonald's chicken sandwich deluxe. I went and got their chicken sandwich. I'm like, it's okay. It wasn't really great. But they're like, well, you got to get it deluxe with lettuce and tomato and all this stuff. Okay.
I don't know if that's going to do it.
I don't know if it's going to do it either.
Is that the Big Mac? The chicken sandwich is a Big Mac? Or
No, it's just a chicken.
I did try that, though.
Is that different?
How was that?
Interesting.
Was it
Not
good?
brave enough yet.
Yes, I think you might like
I went
it.
and they were sold out.
You
I
might
tried
like
it.
that because you like the burger at, what is it, Chili's is really good.
Oh, that Chili's deal.
The Big Smasher.
The
or
Big
whatever.
Smasher is all the ingredients of a Big Mac.
It's like a Big Mac, but like better.
But with a good burger, a nice big juicy Chili's burger. But this is the real deal though. Listen, hear me out. So you get the Big Smasher, which is a big old burger, right? Then you get fries, you get a drink, and you get chips and salsa. So a big thing of chips and salsa for $10.99.
Oh man.
That's cheaper than going through Wendy's. I mean, that's cheap.
It really is
That's
cheaper
cheap.
than going through Wendy's.
By the way, mentioning Wendy's, in my opinion, the Wendy's chicken sandwich is the worst chicken sandwich you can get. I went and tried it.
The new Burger King one's pretty bad too.
I threw mine away. Like I wouldn't finish it. I've never had a chicken sandwich I met where I said, this is so bad. Now, and I like Wendy's. I like other stuff. I love the Dave's Double. There's lots of things at Wendy's I like. The chicken sandwich, the Baconator. And sometimes they'll get a pretzel burger. It's really,
This is what happens.
It's not approved for Thanksgiving.
So if you're not into chicken sandwiches, don't turn
So
it
next week, get your sandwich. We'll give you fair warning, but get your sandwich. We're going to try different ones. Eric and I, we're going to gather them up. We'll have them here on the set, and we'll have a nice day before Thanksgiving grid. We're going to be giving away
That's
some
exactly
stuff.
what we need to do the day before Thanksgiving. Eat
Right.
a bunch of chicken sandwiches.
No, we're not going to eat a bunch of chicken
You could go do an
sandwiches.
air-to-air photo shoot after eating the chicken sandwiches.
I know, right?
Yeah, we're sitting there with the door off. I don't think that's going to
Recipe
happen.
for disaster over here.
Recipe for disaster. All right, Brett, thank you very much for being on the show. You were
Absolutely,
awesome.
Mike.
Loved
Thank
looking
you so
at your
much.
images, which that was kind of a lock because we love aviation photos, and we don't get to see
Know
that
your
many
audience.
air-to-air stuff. That's sweet. And also, anything going on with you?
No.
You're home? You're not
rebuilding home. That's
all right, rebuilding home. All right.
Yeah,
and just
it's been a lot
remember
of
that while you did see the show today, the most important thing happened off camera as Skip Cohen came in the room, spread his love around.
Hey, I got something.
Oh,
I got
what?
something.
What?
Well, we talked about the wildlife conference, right?
Yes.
It's coming up next month.
Yes.
However, we've been talking about it throughout the years, our VIP program, which we're going to go to. Our VIP program is going to have their podcast is right after this.
At 4 o'clock today.
But the VIP membership is back open. So there's a lot of people that couldn't get in the last year because we only have a limited number. It's back open. So if you go over to kelby1.com/VIP, you can become a VIP member.
Yeah, and it sold out in just a few days last year, and then we closed it, and people were like, wait, I didn't
So that's
get
why
in.
I figured I just want to tell the grid, that's going to be
Yeah,
open.
if you've been waiting to be a VIP, now is the time. So,
Yeah, so
jump
check
on
it
it
out.
before it's sold out, and it's closed for the year. That's it.
Yep.
Where can they go? To kelby1.com/VIP.
There you go.
Yo, VIP. Prizes. Who won prizes, Eric?
Prizes, yeah. So Claudia has won Moose's book, and then and that was Claudia Baracera, and then Joe Goodrich is winning Scott's Crush to Composition book.
Woo!
Met won the On One No Noise, and then
that's
Nicole won the Platypod Traveler.
Look at that, Nicole. You won the first Platypod Traveler we've ever
There
given
you
away.
go.
Very exciting.
And then Jack Kay is winning the V flat, and then John Supko is winning the Retouch for Me, and then Dina Lee Deckard is winning the Slick Pick. So just email us over at gridprize@kelby1.com and we'll verify information, then send you out your prize. Just please try to do that by this Friday.
That's gridprize@kelby1.com. We'll make sure that you're you, and then we'll send you extra. Hey, it saves some time if you send your shipping address. For those of you who
It
won
does save
the
some
book,
time.
it saves. And Nicole, send your address too, and Jack.
And
send
if you won the
yours.
On One, I mean, you can send your shipping address. It's just going to come in your email.
We're just going to send you an email with the download link. All right, thanks to everybody. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to Skip Cohn. Right? Skip Cohn. There he is.
There he is.
There is Skip. Side view. I love him. You can't live without him. It's Skip Cohn. He's going for a chicken sandwich. We're inspired. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll catch you next time. Look at that jib work. It's
Look at all those
jibalicious.
power cords.
Look at Larry looking like,
All those power cords plugged in.
a lot of power cords.